From Nyan Adert and Philip Schofield, who apparently seemed to have gotten back, with his family. And of course, this time around, Stephanie Lowe, who happens to be Philip Schofield's wife, is announcing to the whole public that, well, she is still accepting Philip Schofield back, and the couple will be celebrating, Christmas together. But guys, I don't know what your reaction is about this and what you feel about Stephanie Lowe once again accepting Philip Schofield after the horrendous, pathetic, and absolutely dramatic scene that had happened at the ITV franchise, which of course did see him ruin Matthew McGregor's life, which of course now we don't even have any clue where he is. We'll find out exactly what Stephanie has been talking about. Now, I'm not really hating on them. I'm super happy for them. However, I feel like this dude has not been dealt with much, and looks like the family really badly want him. I don't know. Well, basically, of course, we all do know that Philip Schofield is well to do, so maybe the family needs something from him. But this is super ridiculous, right? It's super disgusting. Anyways, if you're new to this channel, please do well to subscribe. It's very important. Your thought and comments as usual. It's opened inside the comment section. Do well to click on the notification button so you get yourselves abreast and first be informed if anything so far drops. This is a helpful quality entertainment. So what are you waiting for? Just get interactive with us. Let's get started. Now, like I have said, this is officially going to be the second time Stephanie Lowe is coming up in the news, speaking about or in relation with Philip Schofield, who happens to be her wife. Now, we all do know the drama that happened at ITV, where Philip Schofield apparently was sacked based on his sexual escapade with a male, personality over there, very young personality. Then he was about 22. Then that's Matthew McGreary. I hope I got his name correctly. But let me just give you a brief epoch about what did happen. So Philip apparently had promised this guy that he was going to make sure Matthew becomes a presenter at ITV, and knowing how desperate Matthew was, he apparently confided in Philip Schofield. So these two apparently were spotted going out together, basically getting a bit flirtatious on social media, especially on X, formerly called Twitter. You could see how Matthew was super, I should say, desperately in need of having him appear on TV, just because, of course, Philip had the upper hand and had promised him that he was going to help him. But unfortunately, none of this did happen. So it became a very, very saddened story, which of course people had also mounted pressure at the ITV franchise to make sure Philip be prosecuted, because he had ruined, this guy's life and just made a fuss about his entire dream of becoming a presenter. But fast forward, the conversation brought in about how Philip took advantage of this guy, and it also shifted from that side to what his stance or his relationship with his wife really is. Now, we all do know that during this, entanglement between himself and Matthew McGregor, his wife was very quiet about this sentiment and social media rant. But finally, she seemed to be breaking her silence about, the relationship, and it looks like she's very positive. But I don't know, if I talk like that, I think some people are going to attack me and say, well, you hate him. But I basically don't care. We don't care. Like, what should we do? So what? Like, basically what? Philip Schofield is bouncing back in his relationship with his wife. And so what? I mean, I cannot care less about this. Yes, Philip must or should or could. I don't really care about it. But we still do not have justice for what he did. So, honestly, I'm left in limbo over here. So, has the wife also officially forgiven Philip Schofield, knowing well that Philip had jeopardized someone else's life? What really would have happened if this was the same situation if this had happened to their daughter or their son? I mean, basically, this couple are just playing selfish games over here, and I'm really disappointed in Stephanie, Lowe. I'm not saying or condemning the fact that they're back together, because of course they have all the rights to co-parent, they have kids together. However, I feel Philip Schofield has not been punished enough. Stephanie Lowe is also making it look as though it's not a big deal. Well, yes, he's good, and so yes, we still have a family to protect. So I'm accepting. It's given nothing but super trash over here. I'm sorry, guys, but maybe you could understand what I'm trying to talk about after you do watch this interview he did conducted with BBC. Then you can appreciate why I'm being so emotionally, virtually and unconscious over here. Let's do enjoy Philip Schofield's interview with the BBC, just so you appreciate where I'm coming from.
That, I think that is, and in my statement, it says, consensual relationship, fully legal. I mean, that was approved by both sides. That's no.
And then when he got work experience at This Morning, so he's 20 years old at this stage. He's someone who's come in.
Well, that was, I think, by that stage at 20, he came in for a visit. We went out because he was going to be picked up. I was worried that he might be on his own. So I said, well, we'll wait, let's go have a bite to eat. It wasn't a meal, it was just waiting for someone to pick him up. So it was, don't worry, don't go out there on your own and be picked up.
So at that point, you weren't in any kind of a relationship?
No, God, no.
Right, okay. How long after that, was it that you had the beginnings of a sexual relationship with him?
He'd been working at the show. Stuff. And then in my dressing room one day, something happened. Which, obviously I will... But that happened maybe 4 or 5 times over the next few months. And I know it's unforgivable. But we weren't boyfriends, we weren't in a relationship. I was really in a mess with my own sexuality at the time. And it just happened.
How old was he at this stage?
20, 21.
And how else were you trying to help him? What else were you doing to help? What else were you doing to help him with This Morning? Did you help him in terms of getting a show reel? Did you help him meet people? Because he had a lot of access.
I did a show, I helped him, and I think that this might have been before there'd been any contact. I helped him put...
So after he gets work experience at This Morning...
He's now got a job. So he was then given a job on his own merits because he was very good at his job. Everybody loved him and worked very, very hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear from the testimony that lots of people have given him he's a hugely talented and capable young man.
Massively talented, yeah.
Just before we get into the relationship and what happened after that moment in the dressing room,
very good at his job. Everybody loved him and worked very, very hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear from the testimony that lots of people have given him he's a hugely talented and capable young man.
Massively talented, yeah.
Just before we get into the relationship and what happened after that moment in the dressing room, if we go back, because you were very specific in your wording in your statement about how the relationship was unwise but not illegal, and the question is of legality centres around your relationship with him before he was 18. Just be really clear, your relationship between when you met him when he was 15 and then when he was 18 was occasional direct messages, no pictures of each other sent to each other, occasional direct messages at all in any of that stuff. Okay. How long did you then have a relationship with him which was sexual in nature?
As I said, it probably happened 5 times, maybe 6 times, but nothing more than that.
So when did your relationship with him end and why?
I was, at the time, and I got him work, because obviously, you're living in London, you're struggling, and I got him runners' jobs on other shows that I did, because he was a very team around you, people that you know.
And did you ever tell Holly Willoughby?
No, God, no. That's a bigger question, because we have, our makeup room was like a sanctuary, has always been a sanctuary. So you tell everything in that room. Holly knows everything about me. I know everything about Holly, all the team that are in there. When the door is closed, then that's the sanctuary. And it is a wonderful, wonderful environment and something that I will miss deeply. And you tell everything in that room. Holly knows everything about me. I know everything about Holly, all the team that are in there. When the door is closed, then that's... No, not at all. And then the rumour came out, rumour started, and then you lie. You know, you've had a workplace fling, and you lie about it. And a great many people would have had a workplace fling and lied about it. And I fully appreciate there is a massive age gap, but that happens in life as well.
So you didn't tell anyone, but I wonder if people asked you. As you say, there'd been rumours for years and years and years about not only whether or not you were gay, but also about your relationship with this particular young man. So did anyone on the This Morning team ask you whether you were gay or in a relationship with this young man?
Nobody ever asked me about being gay.
But people asked you about being in a relationship with this young man.
When the rumour got bigger, then we were both asked.
And people would say the circumstances are as follows.
Bigger, then we were both asked.
And people would say the circumstances are as follows here. You met someone who was a child, you were in a position of power over them, you used your power eventually to give them something they craved, which was a shot at a job in the media, you nurtured a relationship, and then that relationship became sexual. And they might ask, what's the difference between that and grooming?
Well, I would say that the initial list of things was not right anyway.
Tell me, why?
Because it was a totally innocent picture, a totally innocent Twitter follow, of which I follow 11,400 people, and the brief communications backwards and forwards up to the point that he came to work on this morning, I think was just chat. What was unwise was the fact that it happened, and that was a very, very grave error. Now, it was consensual, but it was my fault.
Why?
Because I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it. It is entirely my... He's an innocent party here, and I appreciate, how, there is a moment, you have a moment. There's just a little bit more. And that, retrospectively, of course, you think, my friends have said, what the hell were you thinking? You don't do that. And I think there's no excuse. there are no excuses here. I mean, it's my fault. What I was going to do about it, the effects that it would have. I think that's probably the reason.
And do you feel, just listening to how you are talking about it, do you feel that what was morally wrong about it was that it involved an abuse of power because you were an older guy who had more power than him?
Obviously, that criticism has been levelled at me, but I've never done that in my whole life. I've never abused my power anywhere. I'm not a bully. I don't. I mean, God, you read the things that you're supposed to be. I don't lord it around TV studios. Everyone is a friend. I've gone through all of this time. Most of the messages I've got are from people that I work with saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe they're saying this." I mean, we love working with. I don't do that. I'm not rude on the studio floor. I don't bully people. I don't lord it around. We're all a very, very on one level team. And that's been the important thing for me in 41 years of television.
I can see how extremely concerned you are for the welfare of this young man. Did you love him?
No, we were just mates. We were mates.
Do you know if he has signed an NDA?
That earlier on. Did I make him sign an NDA? No, absolutely not.
But there's a question of whether or not he was, as it were, paid off. And
No.
in effect, if he was paid off,
No.
was he paid for his silence?
No, God, no.
No. So is he free to speak if he wants to?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, what he wants is for all...